Hi guys, I have a little bonus video I want to do for you here. I would like to show you what I do. Remember I was trimming a crust off of the pie, and you don't reuse it for the next pie. That's sort of always been like, if you don't need it to patch holes somewhere or something, you would throw it away. Well, in our household, there were 7 kids. My mother raised 7 kids, and you don't throw anything away. So we did what we called rag muffin with it. Now, before I get like 20, 30 comments on the bottom of this video saying, hey, rag muffin is not what you're making today. My mother used to call this rag muffin. That's what her mother called it. What she did when her mother used the ends or the leavings of pie to make an extra treat on the side. I know that after I moved into the village of East Fairfield 26 years ago, I learned that rag muffins in East Fairfield, where they do a lot of sugaring in Fairfield, East Fairfield, of course I'm from Fairfield, but it is originally I'm from Fairfield, that's where I was born and raised, but in the village of East Fairfield, rag muffin is something very different. Rag muffin is if you take like biscuits and you put them in a baking pan and you float them in maple syrup and you bake them for an X amount of time, and I don't even know exactly how long. That's considered rag muffin in this town. But my mother used to call rag muffin the leavings or the ends of pies, and I'm going to show you what we do with it, and it is so very yummy. So hang on, let me get where I can move you down here. You can see what I'm doing again. Okay, so this is what was left of, I'm literally gonna keep going until I can get it thin. It's kind of, try to do as close to squarish as possible, but it doesn't really matter that much, to be honest with you. No real big shape has to be done here. And I just go out as thin as I can. You'd be surprised how thin this can end up being. And how big you can end up with a rag muffin. This is just that one pie because I used all the topping on the other one because the pie was much bigger. Let's see how kind of get an idea here of how thin this really is. It's thinner than if you were making the top of the pie for sure, because I'm going to roll it when I'm done. I'm going to roll it together. So I start with honey. Just kind of letting the honey go all over here. And this is pure, beautiful honey. And a shout out to Grady's Golden Goodness and all the beautiful Horgans. That's usually where I buy my local honey. This one happened to come out of St. Albans because I got it at a last year. To be honest with you, I got it at a farmer's market. Otherwise, I actually buy Grady's Golden Goodness honey here in East Fairfield from Stone's Texaco, or I don't know if it's Texaco anymore, but it is Stone's, where Carl and Kim own their store here. And they always have a lot of honey there for us to buy. Is it a little more expensive than if you go to like a Hannaford's or something? Maybe. Probably. But Grady's Golden Goodness does a lot of philanthropic things for our community, and what they're doing, they gave butter at the pop-up sale, and they're giving some other things recently. They've got stuff up on there. You should go see the Grady Golden Goodness website. It's fantastic. And they do so many amazing things. They do uniforms for kids that are in sports and can't afford the uniforms but want to play sports. There's just, I can't even start to tell you all the things that they do. It's such a beautiful thing. So anyways, what I did next is, this is brown sugar, and guys, you're not going to believe it, but this was so hard I couldn't, it was 2 blocks. They were so hard I couldn't break them if I wanted to. And I did my little trick there. I took the 2 hard bricks and I stuck them in this little microwave safe dish, and I put that wet paper towel over the top of it and just microwaved it for 30 seconds. And look, it's just as soft can be. So that trick is still working for me. What a cool trick to find out about, huh? And I'm just kind of filling in I mean, none of this isn't a recipe per se. I guess you call it a recipe because you'd want to write it down, I suppose. But when you do it all the time, like I've always done, that's what I've always done with my leftover pie filling, is make rag muffin. You just kind of throw it in there till you say, oh, that's enough. Next is cinnamon. And I'm just broadly broadcast it. So there you go. And that's all there is to it. Now all I'm just going to do is roll it. Roll it up into a tube. It's all going to end up rolling. And I usually put butter on the inside of it before I put any of that stuff down. But I decided today, I've never tried it without the butter on the inside. So on the outside, I always butter, the crazy butter, like this, all the way around on the outside. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get it all covered. And then I'm just going to bake it at 375 until it's lightly brown. So that's how we don't throw anything away. Like I say, I usually put butter on it before I put the honey and all of that other stuff. But today I wanted to see, because I feel like I've been eating a lot of butter lately. So I was going to see what it was like to just butter the outside of it and see if that still is good. But I just flute those ends like you saw. I folded them in. See how I folded the two ends in? When I'm done, I fold those ends in. And I take the butter and I seal it with the butter when I go through here, which you don't want to stand here and watch me, or actually sit here in a video and watch me butter this whole thing, because it can take a little bit of a time. But anyways, you bake it on whatever temperature you've got your pie in. You will accompany your pie with it. So if you're on 350, then you're baking at 350. We're on 375. Just watch it. You just want to see that it's lightly brown, and some of that syrup may start leaking out some of the sides. That's why you really try to fold that in just as hard as you can so nothing really leaks out. And it's a really nice treat. You just cut it in chunks or break it open, and it's like having a little personal cinnamon roll. It's really a nice thing to have. So anyways, that's my mom's rag muffin recipe. And again, I understand that in this town, rag muffin is not what I just made, is what you're considering. But my mother always called it rag muffin, and her mother called it rag muffin. So I'm going with what my mother called it. Enjoy. Again, another way of not wasting anything. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.